All right, good morning, everyone. What we got going on for today is we're going to be doing something called quadratic regression, okay? And the idea of quadratic regression is basically we are going to turn a set of data into a quadratic equation, okay? So here's kind of the idea of this, all right? Basically, in this certain equation right now, they're going to give us a set of data as shown here, okay? This is a model rocket where the x value is the time in space or the time in air. I should say space because there's no way a model rocket's going to space. But this is, oops, if I get my pen to work, this is your x values of the time in your air, and this is your y value, your height, okay? So the idea of this is we want to try to figure out like what's actually happening here. Now, one of the things you want to understand is that this is actually a quadratic function, okay? The one thing you have to understand is notice how it grows and grows and grows until it gets to this point, and then it starts decreasing again. Okay, so we can assume that this rocket, the trajectory's got to look something like this, where it goes up and up and up, and then some point it's coming back down. If we would continue that, it's basically coming down to the ground. So you basically have where it starts at, which is over here on the left. You have the starting point here, and then eventually it's going to fly up in the air and then land over here somewhere. So you notice how that creates a quadratic equation, that parabola-shaped figure, as it goes up and comes back down? Well, we want to actually come up with an equation for this, right? Well, there's kind of an issue here. I can't just out of the blue come up with an equation with all these values. It's very difficult to do, okay? So what we need to do is use technology for this, okay? And so if you notice, when we use technology, we're going to get something that's very similar to this value. Okay, so our goal is going to be to take this set of data, turn it into this, and get an equation out of it, okay? Do this, we're going to use Desmos. Okay, that online program we talked about before, we're going to use this to our advantage. Okay, so let's go ahead and talk about how we would do this. So first off, what we're going to do is we're going to add a table. We're going to actually plug that same table that we had in our screen. So this same exact table that we have here, we're going to plug into Desmos. So on my x value, it goes 0. Oops, let me get that set up. It goes 0 to 9. So we have 0, 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And then for my y values, it's going to go 0, 54, 179, 5, 288, 337, 354, 368, 378, and 363. Okay? Notice how I literally took this graph right here that was on this page and I plugged it in exactly as it is. Once again, note to do that, all I have to do is go to this value, hit table, and that will pop up. Now, if you notice, and if I zoom out here, you can start to see the points start to pile up there, right? But it's still a little bit challenging. We really don't know what's going on up here, okay? So let's go ahead and check out the next value that we got. On the next equation here, we're going to actually start inputting certain values, okay? And this is where the kind of key thing. I'm going to turn these coordinates into an equation. Here's how we do it. We're going to hit Y1. We're going to hit this little squiggly line button up here. Okay? And from there, we're literally going to type in a quadratic equation, which remember is a of x squared plus b of x plus c. So we do a of x 1, and then we're going to go squared plus b of x 1 plus c. Just like that, by plugging those values in, if you notice right down here, they actually tell me my parameters of this problem. Okay, notice how it says negative 6.93, that's my A. They tell us what my B is equal to, and they tell us what my C is equal to. On top of it, look how it created the parabola for this problem. Okay. So what we just have done is we've created the equation based off this set of data. Okay. And now the steps go as that. We plug in the table, and then we work this value out. So now I don't really have some unknown value. I know that exactly that this equation is going to equal negative 6.9. So we have this value here, or this equation, is going to be negative 6.9x squared plus 103.8. So we have plus 103.8x. And last but not least, our C value is negative 11.8. So minus 11.8. Okay? So we actually have the equation for this set of data. And once again, we use technology to our advantage. Okay, that's kind of the key thing that we're going to be focusing on. We're going to use technology to our advantage so that we can actually come up with the values of this. Okay? Now, we'll be reviewing this in class tomorrow. We'll be talking about it a little bit. Feel free to finish up watching the video, and we'll talk about the rest of this tomorrow. Have a great day.